Yo, 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 yo. What's good with it, man? It's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach one, peace and love. Thumbs up, give me the like, subscribe. Reporting live from the Dogon. Today, I have a Mackin' with Mac session. Mackin' with Mac book review session. Today, I will be reviewing the book Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy-Leary. See it? Let's see. This book was published by Uptone Press. Uptone Press. Yeah, thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This book is the truth. Salute to Dr. Joy DeGruy-Leary. This book is, how I say it. This book essentially is compulsory reading. Not only, specifically, I feel like it's compulsory for ADOS, as well as those who are out the diaspora, because it all connects and relates but chiefly it speaks to the ADOS experience here on U.S. soil. This book, it's replete with a mountain of information. I like the way that she broke this book down, pretty much starting with the middle passage naturally, and then talking about the plantation culture, and then from plantation culture to Jim Crow, to convict leasing, to just the policies that were created to keep black people as a perpetual bottom caste post-slavery, post-Reconstruction. She talks about vagrancy laws. Just pretty much with a vagrancy law, like you could essentially go to jail for not having a job. And then with the convict leasing, pretty much when someone would get arrested, that labor would be sold to a corporation. So in essence, it's a what did Kwame Nkrumah say? Capitalism is but a gentleman's form of slavery. I would say that's what convict leasing is. But yeah, this book, she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome, essentially. Obviously, rather. That's the name of the book. I took some notes of things that I wanted to discuss in this book. Let's see. She actually defines post-traumatic slave syndrome, and let me read it out loud. Give me 1 second. Post-traumatic slave syndrome defined. Post-traumatic slave syndrome is a condition that exists when a population has experienced multi-generational trauma resulting from centuries of slavery and continues to experience oppression and institutionalized racism today. Added to this condition is a belief, real or imagined, that the benefits of the society in which they live are not accessible to them. This then is post-traumatic slave syndrome. In essence, post-traumatic slave syndrome is a psychology. It's a psychology that is adopted through oppression, that is adopted from being disenfranchised. One of the things that she talks about in this book is essentially how, man, I'm sweating. Essentially how our manhood was stripped from us as black men, and our womanhood was stripped from us as black women, and essentially the images control reality. Through entertainment, we've seen certain images. There's even, you see, there's, what is it? It's called dialectic. The dialectic is yin and yang. So if you just see white women or white people, their quality of life and images, like in movies, books, magazines, whatever, what have you, you can think that's the best of the best. And you look in the mirror and you're thinking, I don't look like them. I'm not white. So apparently I'm the antithesis of that. I'm ugly. I'm poor. I'm unhappy. I'm non-desirable. There's nothing good is akin to black life. And again, I like how she talked about how she started from the Middle Passage, and then Reconstruction, Black Code laws, Jim Crow. She just pretty much breaks down how even when we were nominally free, I'm gonna say, hold up. Yeah, even though we were nominally free, they told us we were free, but we were only nominally free because different laws and policies were erected to control our social mobility as black people, as African Americans. But again, one of the things that she talked about was vacant esteem. Pretty much just saying, essentially, black people's concept of self, black people's overall just the way that they process their own reality, that they were of no value. And when you feel like, again, I talked about the dialectic and the images, and if you feel like these images don't show that you have value, you feel like there's policies created to keep you down, you're going to feel like your life has no value. It'll get to the point where you will actually justify your own mistreatment. And there's a quote I'm going to, there's a Dr. Carter G. Woodson quote in here. I'm going to quote it. When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told. In fact, if there is no back door, he will cut one for his special benefit. His education makes it necessary. That's an excerpt from Miseducation of the Negro. I actually did a review on that. I'll put it in the description box. But yeah, when you have no esteem, when you have vacant esteem, you don't love yourself. You don't respect yourself. And then not only that, you don't love or respect your reflection. What's your reflection? Other black people. And with that, I think it creates an internalized culture of self-hate. You don't see value in yourself because you are black. You have low, vacant self-esteem because you are black. Because the world has told you are ugly, you're a criminal, you're poor, you have no inherent value. And a lot of us psychologically have bought, we've bought into this miseducation. We've bought into this indoctrination. And we've hurt each other and taken that rage out on one another. One of the things that she talked about in this book was the whole concept of crabs in a barrel, where it comes from. Let me see. Crabs in a barrel. There's an old saying among African Americans that when someone black tries to pull themselves up in the world like crabs in a barrel, another black person always reaches up to pull them back down. How often has the most unbearable antagonist at the job, at school, on the committee, in the church or mosque been another black person? No doubt fools and idiots come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and African Americans certainly have no shortage of them. However, there seems to be an uncanny tendency amongst many blacks to orchestrate and plot the demise of other blacks, sometimes even friends and relatives. It is as though achievements of family and friends, colleagues, and acquaintances are seen as a threat or an affront. Let me see. If I believe that black people are inferior and someone who is black is being promoted over me, then I am lower than the lowest. If on the other hand, someone white is promoted over me, again, my socialization prepares me. I have learned to accept the white person being advanced as a normal process, be it fair or unfair. Historically, during slavery, the promotion of one black person over another usually meant that they would soon use their newly acquired position to further tyrannize those blacks occupying lesser positions. I mean, that says it all. Again, vacant esteem, feeling as though I'm the lowest of the low. For black, there's only space for one black person to be successful. It's only one check being cut, so everybody else that's black is going to get screwed. So I want to hold them down because they're just going to gain power, and then they're going to crap on me. I already got white people crapping on me. Then I'm going to have people that look like me crapping on me because they're getting pushed forward. And the thing that I like about this book, that it's very practical. She gives modern day scenarios that substantiate her claims. Again, she mentioned it just now with, why does it seem like there's another black person maybe in the church or the mosque or somewhere in school that's trying to, or the job again, that's trying to pull you down. You can see that today. That's I think it was Dr. Naeem Akbar, he called it plantation psychosis. It manifests to this day. One of the things that she talks about as well is racial socialization. And by racial socialization, meaning, the culture, the dominating culture essentially socializes you or gives you it foists a context on you. White is right. What does it say? If you're black, get black. If you're brown, stick around. If you're yellow, you're okay, fellow. You are pretty much socialized through pop culture, even through the school system, the education system. You are socialized that your life is nil as a black person. Nil. And one of the things that I like about this book, she doesn't just talk about the problem. She talks about systemic racism. She talks about institutional racism. She talks about the dynamics of white supremacy. She gives us our history from Middle Passage to present day. So there is a context. There is a narrative that she's painting from A to Z. How we got here. How this mess fomented. And the thing that I like about this is it's not all gloom and doom. She also talks about how we can build ourselves up. There's a whole chapter dedicated to healing. Essentially, she talks about restoring our esteem. We restore our esteem by looking at our value, looking at how we serve our community, how we serve our family, how we give back, our inherent gifts and talents. And it's kind of like Dr. John Henry Clark said, everything that you do well, do to the benefit of your people. And the thing that I thought was really dope about that, a lot of times people, and she touches on this in the book, we equate our value and esteem to tangible things, to materialism, to money. And I thought it was very interesting how she said we need to look beyond that and look in the mirror and process who we are and what our value is to our family, to our community. And that made me look inward, Sometimes people feel like, well, I don't have a lot of money and I'm not doing blah, 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 but you can still give back. You still have value, This book, I really can't say enough about it. I think that it is, again, compulsory reading. One of the things that I like that she talked about in this book, let me find it, is just black male and female relationships. And I'm going to read an excerpt from it. Black male-female relationships. Why are there so many black single women raising their children? Where are all the black eligible men? Why do so many black men seem to gravitate to white women? Often to the total exclusion of black women. Why do some black women suffer the brunt of black male hostility and violence? These questions lay at the very crux of the challenges facing black male-female relationships. And comprehensive answers to them would fill the pages of an entire book. True. However, we can make a good beginning by first looking at some of the conditions which African Americans are currently confronting. According to the Bureau of Labor, the unemployment rate for African Americans is double that of whites, and African American males continue to account for 50% of the prison population. The toll that these two statistics alone have had on black families has been and continues to be dangerously underestimated. Chronic unemployment and disproportionate incarceration rates leave many African American families fragmented, powerless, and all but incapable of stability. Another excerpt. Conversely, the history of blacks in America have been one of fragmentation. For more than 240 years, slavery rendered black men and women impotent with regard to keeping their families together. Imagine the impact of generation after generation after generation of familial disintegration. What habits do you think that produced? After emancipation, the African Americans began to build their families. Many of our ancestors had to start from scratch to develop the necessary skills to maintain a family. Skills that so many people take for granted. Hopefully, in time, these skills will become habits. To their credit, many did succeed, many did not. And that's one thing that she touches on in the book. It's a theme that's revisited often through the book, is just the concept of family. And then the best threat to white supremacy are strong black households, a strong black family unit, nuclear family, man, woman, child, mother, wife, husband, father. Those dynamics working in unison with one another. She talks about modeling. She talks about how essentially a lot of the reason why the black family structure is so fragmented is a lot of us, we came up in single families. A lot of us have honestly never seen black love outside of television. And the thing is, when you're able to model somebody, you have a context and reference point for how you want to be. And a lot of us as black men, we don't have that. As a lot of black women, they don't have it as well. There is no reference point to the family structure or how to make a family function in a healthy way.